Hello, and welcome to another session of San Francisco by Night, Hunter the Vigil. When last we left Peru and he was going back into the party to mingle and to do some specific requests that had been asked of him. Our story now takes us back a step from where we last left off, the Perun enjoying himself at this luxurious masquerade ball.
Hello, hello, and salutations to all. It's a lovely night out and a lovely ball. So Perrin's going to wander in, taking a look around as I wait for a roll 20 to finish launching. So would you say I have the appropriate attire on?
Yes, you do.
Appropriate
You
clothing?
have a good attire. Everyone is seeing you in the highest light. You are the aftertalk of the party.
Right. So I'm going to use that power I talked about. Since which is going to be Mask of Superiority, which will give me either status or flat out allies, depending on how high I roll. It's going to be my presence plus subterfuge. So just give me 5 seconds to do. All right, that is an exceptional success right there. So instead of just status, people will view that are part of whatever organization he's um, targeting with this, because he's not exactly sure. Thinks he's targeting high society, but he might be targeting something more vampiric in nature, or something completely different. Instead of just viewing him as if he was a had status in the here, this place views him for the scene as if he has allies, and it's equal to his presence, which is at this moment 5. So I get all the same members as if I was benefits as if I was a member with status, but at the same time I get basically a pass if I don't know the inner workings of the organization or say something out of place. So I'm going to stroll in and I'm going to make cheery comments towards others, listening, trying to um, worm my way into conversations, keeping my ear out for anything that interests me. I'm obviously keeping an ear out for um, Alex's, or my eyes out for Alex's friend, which I have a first name of, I believe, and it was like Jacob or something, as well as his description. Right?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
just making sure.
You
But I'm all,
you go ahead.
real quick. I'm also keeping an ear out for to see if I can overhear who's the owner of this party.
Okay. So you mingle and talk, and the guests is a lavishing ballroom of masquerade. You, as the lion, have attracted many since you came back in. Overall, the conversations are that you think people would have in high society. Occasionally, there's a quirk or mess up here or there, but in the end, no one cares. After all, you are status now. You are one of the family, so to speak. As the night progresses, you do eventually hear about who is leading the party. Someone named Scarlet. Woman in a bright red dress and red mask.
From my recollection, was she one of the ones who took up one of my friends?
Yes, she was the one who took up Flynn.
Flynn?
Mhm.
All right. I'll start making, if I see her, I'll start making my way over. But at the same time, while taking note of her, you know what? As I move along, I'm going to see if I'm going to go ahead, and as I'm moving towards her, I'm going to just do a keening to see if I
Mhm.
can spot any supernatural presence here. So just roll that real quick. That's wrong. So this. Three.
3 successes.
Nope. 1 second. Yeah, 3 successes.
Okay. She radiates an aura about her that is not human.
I figured as much. Also operating under the assumption she's a vamp. I'm not 100% sure about that. However, I will approach her. And as I go up, I will give a sweeping bow as I go, "Oh, Miss Scarlet!"
She sets down a wine glass and gives you a similar bow. And she says, Perun, good to see you. How have you been?
"Oh, you know me."
Well, of course, you are the talk of this party. I've been eager to meet you, except I've been busy with other clientele at this moment.
That's such an interesting thing. I've never actually gave my name to any of these lovely individuals. My
Oh, well,
reputation must precede me.
your reputation does precede you. I've heard a lot about you.
All good things, I hope.
Oh, about 9 out of 10 good things.
Right? You can see the lion raise a cocked eyebrow as he goes. Though I must admit, I'm disappointed. What's the point of a masquerade ball if we cannot hide our identities?
She chuckles. By the way, she has an extremely thick Russian accent, but I can't replicate it.
All right.
She kind of just tilts her head at you and then gives a little smile. And she says, well, beggars can't be choosers. Not when it comes to this kind of wealth.
Jess puts his arm to his chest and goes, I would never call myself such a beggar.
Come, why don't you enjoy the gardens with me? Very few people have gone out to the hedges.
I will say, yes, well, hopefully they're nice and hopefully you have a lovely gardener. You don't want to let the brambles get out of control. You might prick yourself.
She walks with you out to the back, which is a lit porch side, going out into the gardens, and it's now no longer raining. It's a very clear night
Yeah.
now. And you walk amongst kind of the rose bushes and the thorns and the hedges, and she says, now I have to admit it is a bit odd to see someone like you at one of my parties. What preceded you to come along? And how did you get an invitation? I know every single invitation that was sent out personally.
That must be so much work. And then he'll say, it must be so much work tracking all these invitations. A guest of a guest. I'm just a guest of a guest.
Oh, very well then. Keep your secrets. I must say that the night has been very eventful, but as I was watching, I noticed that you look like a man who has not indulged in a very long time.
Really now, and here I thought I was indulging just a moment ago.
She says, and lo and behold, I noticed that we had a slight security breach.
Oh dear.
Indeed.
Really now.
I know,
I
so
hope nothing was
strange.
stolen.
I know. It's just so strange that why would someone, think to steal from me at such a lavish party? What a rude gesture.
So very rude. Now, you sure they didn't think it was just a party favor?
Oh, I'm sure they knew exactly what they were doing.
Well, then, let's see. How should paraphrase this? Well, some people are delusional and get on see wealth and get this impression that uh, the things they are taking is theirs. You can never go into the head of a criminal. They seem to always seem to think stuff that doesn't belong to them belongs to them.
Okay. Clash of Wills coming up here. I need you to roll your power stat plus resolve. This is a mind-altering effect, so if you have anything for that, it will also come into play.
Damn, only 2 successes.
All right, let me see what I get here. Let's see, she's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 2. She's actually got a decent pool to this. 1, 2, 3,
G beats me.
4. Okay. So let's see. She beat you by a degree of 2. So give me one surface memory and one deep memory that she is specifically looking for. You actually will get to word this a little bit. Give me one surface memory that would relate to what the break-in was, like what you guys did.
Okay, she's getting a surface memory of
Sorry, you cut out. Oh, technical difficulties. I cannot hear you.
Steve. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. She's getting for a surface memory related to the break-in. Boobs. Because
Okay.
Baron's part of the break-in was to have lots of sex.
Yep. Okay. Now she's going to use a deep thought and see into it, and she will eventually, because she's mind reading.
Yep.
So she does find out that you were involved. She looks at you for a moment, blinks. She says, "Perun, I did not know you knew my sister."
Raises an eyebrow and goes, "Oh, who's your sister? I don't think I've
Oh,
ever had the pleasure."
what? Good old V? Svetlana? The one you were the distraction for while your friends broke her out? You know, I was keeping her punished for a reason, but I suppose I can let that go.
Raises an looks at you, her, and tilts her head and goes, actually, how should I put this? When I use my um when I use my keening, did I get a sense of what she was?
Yeah,
What is she?
vampire.
Vampire? I'm going to say vampire and a dog. That must be a story.
Oh, it is quite the story. One for another time, though. Let's just say that me and my sister have our differences. But I suffice that that punishment for her was enough, so I'm not going to pry the matter anymore. However, taking one of my blood donors from the basement, that was a little bit rude, but I guess I could let it slide this once since it's your first offense.
Well, you stole from us, so we had to steal from you.
Is it stealing if the item or person in question wants to be here?
No, but it's a dare. If you want to be here, then it's a dereliction of his duties.
Very well, I'll let it slide.
If,
I got everything I needed from them anyway.
after all, he is employed by someone else. It's a very much a shame to take another person's employee.
That old fart sitting down there in his basement. I figured you worked for him.
No, no, not quite. I never say anything about any old fart. As far as I know, Mr. Ellison is quite young.
Tilts her head for a moment. Oh, that one. Yes, well, that one has his own problems to deal with now. Running a company can be tough in this day and age.
I'm sure it is. That's why I stay out of the corporate business. But tilts his head, goes, "But you certainly had an interesting prize down there." "I thought Mr. Lance was, well, I had heard rumors that he met an unfortunate end."
Mr. Lance lost his mind. There is no value to him anymore. He had to be eliminated.
"Well, he certainly seemed to have a mind when he got up and walked out of there."
She just raises an eyebrow. And I assume you had something to do with that.
"Me? Evans, you must think me some sort of wizard if you believe that um I could restore someone's mind like that, or puppet them so grandly. I wish I would love to be able to do so, but unfortunately, my skills in that department are lacking."
She looks at you for a very long moment without speaking. And then she finally says, "All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Perun." And she walks out into the hedge.
Can I make an empathy roll from all this?
Just to tell what her mood is?
Yes.
Wits empathy.
Yep. Two successes.
Deep in thought.
I'll give a low whistle and turn towards to head back into the party.
You head back toward the party, and this
Whistle.
one guy comes up to you. Just before you get back inside, this one guy comes up to you. He's kind of got a nice suit on, looks like one of the normal party goers. He says, "Hey, I hear you've been quite the talk of the party. That's not your job, that's my job. I'm the one who's the talk of the party, my good sir."
My good sir, I'm the talk of the party wherever I go.
Yeah, well, that's a problem, because you're taking a lot of my socializing away from me. He appears to be somewhat drunk.
Your socialization? Oh dear. Oh my. And may I ask who I have the honor to speak with?
You are addressing Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins? Oh dear, oh my. Mr. Bilbo, I am so very sorry. But I believe
Yeah,
you the wrong place for this wonderful um social this wonderful thing. This or I'm afraid you seem to have lost your way. Clearly, um you need help finding Smog.
roll me a presence deception.
Would this count as fast talking?
Yeah.
By the way, does this guy fit the description?
No.
No. 5 successes.
Smog, where?
Over this way.
He just
And I'm going-
immediately he just immediately goes running off in whatever direction you point.
By the way, with Keening, is that guy supernatural?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Just some drunk guy.
Yep.
I'm just going to wave as I watch him go by, then lean over to one of the party guests and go, any clue who that fellow was?
Oh, that was David Beckram. He was he's an employee for MODOK.
Employee, say?
Yeah, he was one of the head of the security partners.
Was?
Yeah, he was fired this week. He didn't tell me why. Apparently, some new programmer was put at the head of the department. I think the programmer's name was Nick.
Interesting. I'm going to stroll after our lovely friend there.
All right, he is out. He is out in the maze bushes, going, "Smog, where are you?" Know, he's literally in the role play of Bilbo, and he's drunk as hell.
All right. I'm going to go. You're never going to find Smog that way. And even if you do, what will you do? You seem not to have. You seem to be missing your ring and stinger.
Oh, damn, you're right. What do I do?
Perhaps I can be of service. I can arm you, help you. See that you are ready to take on the great and powerful Smog. But in
Let's hear
return, I just ask simply that you come work for me. I've heard that that the dwarves have left you. Yes? You need an ally.
That sounds like a good idea.
You will be mine, but you will be the hero.
I'll take it.
All right. And what this deal is going to be on his side, he's going to get some supernatural powers. I'll figure out what those are. However, he is going to be enthralled. As
Okay.
long as the deal.
He is drunk as a skunk, so he will not even check the fine print.
All right.
He'll be like, "You got yourself a deal, sir."
All right. And I'm going to go sober up and we'll meet in the morning.
Okay. Kind of just twaddles off.
All right. I'll figure out what that is later as I whistle. And I'm going to, as I do so, see if I can call up any research on the guy I just made a deal with. Because, well, he's the head of security for MODOK. Who knows what that means?
He was not actually head of security. He was just a lead programmer. He was lead. Yeah, he was one of the lead programmers. So he's really good with computers. Other than that, you're not really finding out a whole lot about him. He's a typical college student, fresh out. Got really good with MODOK. Was really good with what he was doing, and then got fired recently. So
still, a lead programmer enthralled to me is perfect. I can, once he's more sober, I can interview him, get more information about MODOK, then set him to work with AI stuff.
You eventually see the man matching the description of what Alex was telling you.
All right. I'm going to wander over that way.
As you wander up to the man notices you. Ah, fine outfit.
The lion's got a roar.
Indeed. Did you know that the Romans used lions in colosseums? Truly a beautiful esquire.
Gives a smile at that.
There is nothing more pleasurable than seeing something fight for its life. One truly only understands the value of something of that which has been lost, and that when it is at its most intense.
You sound like a man who knows his pleasures.
I am a man with a vision, my good sir.
And does this man have a name?
Yes. My name is Brian.
Well,
Now, that's
nice
not
to
the name
meet.
that Alex gave you, but that is, from the looks of it, that's what his name is.
Right. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Brian. You may call me, thanks for a moment, Leo.
Wish to hide your name from me? No worries. Leo. Pleasure to meet you.
I
What
hide my
brings
name from
you...
everyone. It's the masquerade, after all.
Indeed. I must be honest with you, I did not give you my real name either, but oh well.
You say, what brings me to this party, this place of interest? To be simple.
Is there anything you get for something trying to determine what you are?
Huh? It depends is if it's a beast, it gets what I am. There is a roll off.
This is a fetish.
A fetch?
A fetish.
Oh, then yeah,
Spiritual totem.
it doesn't
Or
get it.
it doesn't get it?
It doesn't get it. I
Okay.
have, that's the problem. That's the big thing with changelings. The only thing that can out hide us are demons.
He brings up his glasses and he looks at you. Shrugs, puts them back in his pocket.
So my character will go, what brings me to this party? Rather simple. Pleasure and the opportunity to grow. After all, Miss Scarlet's masquerades are the talk of the town, are they not?
Yes, they are. They are indeed. Now, tell me, what exactly would you be looking for? I'm looking for people of certain talents.
Excitement, adventure, the chance of to grow in the business aspects.
Well then, if you are seriously looking for a chance to prove yourself among many peers, he hands you a card. Call me and then meet me at this address. We will get things discussed.
Raises his eyebrow and goes, prove myself against among my peers.
Yes.
In what manner are we speaking?
To show people what you are capable of.
No, my capabilities lie in the business room, in the investor halls.
I have use for that.
Oh? And what use for it would this be? And what use and what incentive does this hold for me?
I am opening up a new investment, and the incentive for you is pride, notoriety, and coin, so to speak.
All well and good, but we both know coin doesn't actually truly run the city.
Indeed, the city is run by favors and bribery. You need
I
more
was
than
going
just
to
coin.
say I was going to say there's a lifeblood to the city.
Tilts his head and looks at you kind of funky.
The
Really?
streets run red at times.
Tilts his head like he's listening to something, and then he says, "Excuse me, I must be going."
Toodles.
Then leaves very quickly out the front door.
You know what? I'm going to wait for a sec and then pocket the business card as I stand to follow.
Okay, you gonna follow him? He goes out the front door. He goes over to one of the cars, and he seems to cock his head like he's listening. How close do you get to him?
I am going to get closer, but as I do, I'm activating Light Shy,
Okay.
which turns me invisible.
Yep.
And I'm going to.
He seems like he's talking to someone in the car, even though the windows are up.
Can he overhear what he's saying?
You can hear what he's saying. You can't hear what's coming from inside the car.
All right.
Yes. Yes, I know. Tell the fool that it's his own friends that we are not willing to work with. We will proceed as follows. I do not care what the hunters think. They are nothing. Just give them what they want and tell them we will help. Yes. Wait a minute. He starts to look up and he starts to sniff the air. He looks on over to where you are. He taps the hood of the car and the car goes driving off. He starts to sniff more and he starts to walk on over towards you.
You know what? At this moment, I am going to, while he's walking towards me, I am going to use what that spell one called? I am going to use Cupid's arrow.
What does this do?
So you get to tell me what his most ardent desire is. After I roll. Let me just double check if there's a roll off. Because I'll read the actual power to you. There's a reason why I'm always wearing an ivory flower in my bouteille, or whatever it's called. All right. So, this power is, how it goes is Cupid's arrow. The changeling sees into another's heart and changes the course of their desire. Basically, it's going to be wits plus it's my wits, empathy plus mantle versus this guy's composure plus power stat.
Okay.
Then, if I succeed, the changeling learns the subject's most ardent desire, any conditions or tilts connected to it. This desire can even be one the target's unaware of. I may then replace the desire with one of my choices. The target's passion for the original desire, along with any conditions or tilts, is then turned towards this new desire for the rest of the scene.
Okay.
If I get a exceptional success, I automatically know any obstacles between the target and his desire. Cupid's arrow, baby.
Hmm.
Four successes on my side.
None. Okay.
What's this guy's most ardent desire?
Violence.
Just general violence?
Mhm.
Let's have some fun. Let's change that desire for the rest of the scene to Scarlet.
Okay.
As I'm going to.
Granted, he's still sniffing and coming towards you.
Yeah, I know. Actually, no. Let's change that desire. His desire now is to get me to work for him.
Okay. All right.
And
So he starts to sniff the air. Pauses. Thinks for a moment. Shakes his head. And you see him go on over to his car and get in it and drive off.
well, that was certainly interesting. I'll slowly shake my head too, as I'm going to turn back towards the party.
Turn back towards the party and proceed to walk in to engage in more delicacies and afterthoughts.
Mm.
And with that, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to go see if I can find my friend Bilbo.
Oh yeah, you find Bilbo.
So I'm going to get to talking to him before we end.
You start chatting with him a bit. Is there anything specific you want to ask him?
What exactly did he do for MODOK?
He helped program the wireless communications that MODOK was setting up for their security headquarters. He was in charge of a lot of the wireless communication branch, so to speak. He also did a bit of IT work for them.
Why did they let him go?
He doesn't actually seem to know. They just know that Nick was much more prominent, better at what he did, or at least everyone thinks he was better at what he did. I mean, personally, this guy thinks he's still a little bit better of a programmer than Nick is. But for whatever reason, Nick just started moving up just out of the blue, and for whatever reason, he was fired, and he has no idea why. He thinks it was maybe to make room for Nick because they wanted him in that position, but he doesn't know why they would do that.
Does he think he can still hack into that MODOK?
Possibly.
Wireless? All right. I'm going to explain while he's still drunk the new situation to him. I'm going to give him my address and say, from now on, as long as you wish to keep what you have. You'll work for me. I'll be more than just your boss. All great heroes need a master, after all, someone to direct them.
He nods. Says, yeah, I'll do that.
You may be doing some questionable things, but I believe in your head you'll always know that you're doing the best of the best, right?
Yes, I will. He kind of snaps out of it a bit. I will hold you to that. And with that, the camera zooms out of the party into the night moon. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another session of San Francisco by Night.